Today is about a stick fire, chaga, and the deer hunter, and how all three of these play in to a awesome piece of equipment in your hunting bag here in the state of Maine at the beginning of snow season. So I thought today would be a good day to start talking about fire and the deer hunter. Good afternoon, my name is Tom. I come to you from northern Maine. Today's video is going to be about chaga and the deer hunter. Why is chaga so important to me as a deer hunter? That's what today's video is going to be about. As a deer hunter of the state of Maine for the last 35 years, I've kept chaga in my backpack for years. There's three things that I would like to cover today about chaga and the deer hunter. And the first one I want to cover is about the dangerous side of chaga. I know people are going to say, what? The dangerous side of chaga. Chaga is very easy to light. It lights best with a flint and steel. Ferro rod, I really don't believe works that great on it, but flint and steel, this piece of chaga will take right off. Now, why is it dangerous? You say, Tom, why is it dangerous? Well, I'm going to tell you why it's dangerous. Once you get chaga lit, it is almost impossible to put it out. There's only two ways that I know how to put this thing out. That is to starve it of oxygen and throw it in a body of water. That's the only two ways. And that's why I say it's dangerous. One is that once you get a little ember going down in there, it takes a little bit for it to smoke. So you could throw this in your backpack, back into your fire bag, and not even know that a piece of chaga is lit. That's why I say it's dangerous. Now, the two ways that I snuff it out is actually three ways. You can put it in a glass jar like this. It's airtight, and the thing will go out. Very simple to do. You can wrap it in a piece of tin foil, and it will go out. As a last resort, I soak it in water, because once you've soaked this in water, it's no good to you. Because now you're going to have to go through the drying process again before that piece of chaga is any good for lighting again, as far as being able to build a fire with it. So that's why I say chaga is dangerous. I don't ever see that in a lot of videos when people talk about chaga, is the difficulty in getting it to go out. But by the end of this video, I will show you how I light this with a piece of flint and steel. And to me, flint and steel is the best way for lighting this. With a ferro rod, yes, if you can get a good ember to come off that rod and hit that without bouncing off before it has a chance to light, but you only need a small piece of this. This is a huge piece. You only need, geez, the size of a quarter is enough. So that's why, and you take that and put it against your flint and steel, and you can get a nice ember on there really easy, and that's why I say flint and steel is the best for me. Now for you, you might like something different, but I like flint and steel, always have. For me anyways, that's the best way for me. Now, why is this good for the deer hunter? Well, you can also drink this as a tea. I put this down as a twofer in my backpack while I'm deer hunting, because I can drink it in a tea. Like I said, this is an awful big piece. If you brought half of that with you or a quarter of that with you in your backpack, you've got fire material. Now, if you do end up spending the night in the woods and not coming out until the next day, you might have shot a deer, you might have shot a bear, anything like that that's run off and you're hunting for it and you decided to spend the night in the woods with your kill. You can have yourself a cup of tea before you go to bed, or you can have a cup of tea in the morning when you get up. You just take this and crush it up a little bit, boil it in some water in your teacup that's probably in your backpack anyways, and then you, like I said, you can have a cup of tea. And At the same time you're having that cup of tea, you can use this to build yourself a good campfire. And that's why I think Chaga is perfect for the deer hunter, as far as if you're going to put stuff in your backpack. I love tupers. You hear it all the time on this channel and in other channels as well. If you can get a piece of equipment that will serve as double duty, that's a perfect piece of equipment, a perfect piece of gear that should be in your backpack. So that's why I put this in the tuper category. Now, I've already made a couple of the points that I like about Chaga. We'll call this the third point. Once you've found a piece of Chaga out in the woods, you need to bring it back to camp with you, bring it home with you, and you need to put it in a dry spot in your house to season, just like firewood seasons out in your woodshed. You can even put this in your woodshed to season, as long as it's in a place that it can stay dry. If you put it in a box and close the top, it will mildew on you. And once it mildews on you, it won't make good tea. It's just no good for tea. So have it in an open container, up on top of a kitchen shelf or something like that, up on a shelf in a closet, someplace where it can get some ventilation, and have it sit in there for a few months. Then after a few months, take it out of the box, and then what I do with it, once I know that it's seasoned up nice, then I put it in an airtight container, and I have that out back of the camp here in a glass jar, them old pickle jars, them gallon pickle jars. I'll put a whole bunch in there, and then right now I'm setting on 2 of them pickle jars, all ready for tea, as well as fire starters there. I have them about the size of, say, a golf ball, and that's a good size to throw in your backpack. Well, now what we're going to do now is I'm going to go over and I'm going to build you a fire with this, with flint and steel. There's a couple of ways that I like to do this. I think Chaga works the best in building what I call a stick bundle. I don't push a grass bundle, and the reason I don't, I guess you'd want to call it a grass nest. I call it a stick nest, a stick bundle. The reason I do that is because in the wintertime up here, grass is very hard to come by. So in your training out in the woods, it's a whole lot better to train with what you're going to be able to find on hand easily. And one of the things that's very easy to find in this state is spruce sticks off a spruce tree. Especially in northern Maine, when you're up in the mixed forest, they're just on all the spruce trees, the limbs on the bottom are usually bone dry and very easy to light. So get yourself a handful. Oh, about that big is more than enough. Get your Chaga lit, put it down inside of the stick bundle, and then just blow on it. And that piece of Chaga will start to glow, it'll start to smoke, and before you know it, that whole stick bundle will be on fire. Grasses, like I said, in the wintertime are very hard to come by. The other way that I like to light Chaga is with a magnifying glass. Now this magnifying glass came out of an old set of binoculars. All you need is a 5-power magnifying glass. They can cost as little as $2 at the dollar store, and that's more than enough for lighting Chaga or charred punk wood. I don't push char cloth. It would also light char cloth, but I push charred punk wood, and I push Chaga in this state. Now this shouldn't take any more than just a couple of strikes. Just gonna find a sharp place on my stone. There you go. See how easy Chaga is to get going? You see that glow? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer it to a bigger piece. And that's why I think flint and steel, see how easy it is to transfer? Just let it sit there for a minute. Let that chaga sit there for a minute. Squeeze this together a little bit so you can get some pressure down on there. And then lightly blow. Try to keep the wood pressed up against the chaga. Trying to do it so you can see. I hope you can see. You just have to be patient with it and blow the chaga into a stick bundle and get your fire. Like I said earlier, there is no grasses in the winter time in the state of Maine to make a grass nest out of. And that is why this woodsman feels that this is the most important fire for the deer hunter and woodsman in the state of Maine. Well, there you go. And this is for my regular subscribers that I am behind on my comments for the last two videos. I truly am sorry. This is winter time and I am extremely busy getting ready for deer season as well as getting ready for just plain winter. But I will get caught up on your comments. I appreciate each and every one of them. It's just this week and last week. Actually just the last two videos, and this one will be out tomorrow. I have read them, each and every one of them. I just have not had time to sit down and answer them. So this is an apology to you, and I will see you in the next video.